Good morning. Welcome to the 49ers Playbook. I'm Grant Cohn. That's former Raiders offensive coordinator Tom Walsh. Today's show is sponsored by Mint Mobile. At Mint, their favorite word is no contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. Ditch overpriced wireless and their jaw-dropping monthly bills, unexpected overages, and hidden fees. Plans start at $15 a month at Mint. Make the switch at mintmobile.com/Cohn. That's mintmobile.com/COHN. Upfront payment of $45 required. That's the equivalent of $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for the first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. All right, Tom. Tom was like the rest of us watching the 49ers at the trade deadline this week, waiting for them to do something, maybe expecting them to do something. They didn't do anything. How do you interpret that? What do you make of the 49ers' inactivity?
Grant, I think it was a big miss for a couple of reasons. One, they currently do have a need for a defensive lineman, whether it's an edge rusher or an inside player. I look at the Phillips guy, went from Miami to the Eagles, I think, for a third-round draft pick. And I'm like, geez, that's not a high price to pay for an impact player. And you go back and watch the Miami-Atlanta ball game, he thoroughly dominated the interior of the Falcons' offensive line, so much to the point that they were required to double him with the center and the guard. And, the Niners need that kind of a player. The thing about it is, with the injuries the Niners have, they're losing players for this season, which is putting a crimp in their run for the playoffs. But I think they fail to understand the impact that the loss of these players like Mykel Williams, how far they're going to carry over into the 2026 season. So this not only impacts them now, it impacts them going forward to 2026, which then if they don't pick up a player now who can help them and who has a projection to carry forward to 2026, now they have to turn back to the draft in 2026 to be able to replenish. They're going to still need an edge rush in the draft. They're still going to need a 3 technique in the draft. And let's be honest, no disrespect, but the Niners have not been the most successful at drafting defensive linemen in the early rounds, especially the first round. They've made more mistakes other than DeForest Buckner. I can't see any big hit where they have struck gold with the defensive lineman in the first round.
Well, Nick Bosa would be the one. He's injured his ACL 3 times now, and that was sort of a layup at the second pick in the draft. They could have taken names out of a hat and gotten a good player there. But you're right. I mean, Javon Kinlaw, Drake Jackson, Mykel Williams, Alfred Collins, no standout players among that group. And they did inherit DeForest Buckner, and then they traded him.
Yeah, unbelievable. And now he's with the Colts. And the Colts talk about the trade at the deadline. They pick up a heck of a corner who can help solidify their defense. They've got really good, strong playoff aspirations the way they're playing. And the other team I thought, which helped themselves, that is going to cost the Niners down the road, is Philadelphia. They added a couple of secondary players. Didn't they pick up Jair Alexander a week ago, and then they made a trade the other day for another corner, and then they got Phillips. So they've got 3 defensive players that they're adding to their package now mid-season to only strengthen them in their playoff run.
And it's funny, the Niners are trying to win a Super Bowl. Jed York, Kyle Shanahan, they've been on this quest to win their first Super Bowl, and they've gotten close. They don't exactly know what it takes. You look at an organization like the Eagles that have gotten it done, and they're not messing around. This is an opportunity, and they went and put their best foot forward, made the best version of themselves, even though, their record is pretty similar to what the Niners record is right now. They're kind of in the same position. One team was just a lot more aggressive.
Grant, that's why I would have done something. From my perspective, the mediocrity or the parity in the league this year allows a team like the Niners, the Rams, Seattle, to all be in a position to make a serious playoff run. This is a great chance for the Niners. Think about this. They've got, going into the season, they had the weakest schedule in the league. Granted, they've had the most injuries. They've lost more players to injury from games and all that, and still yet they're right in the hunt. So this gives you an idea that if they would have made a move, they really could have pushed themselves into a stronger position to be a serious contender at the end of the season. Now, granted, they're going to get some players back before the year's out, but they're going to be missing some key frontline players where the backups, there's a reason why guys are backups. They're not good enough to be the starters. But now you're pushing the backups to be the starters, and that's going to have a few, chinks in your armor, so to speak, when you get down to the playoff run and the games become more competitive and more meaningful as the season closes.
I understand the Niners probably feel like, what's the point of going all in when you don't have Fred Warner and you don't have Nick Bosa and you're probably not going to win the Super Bowl anyway. But like you said, the parity in the league has never been more apparent. It's so wide open. And you have Robert Saleh now. Who's to say you'll have him next year? You have Eddie Pinheiro now. Who's to say he'll be automatic next year? I mean, it seems like this really is a moment, an opportunity that they're not necessarily like capturing as well as they could.
Well, granted, they don't have all the elite star power that they have because of injuries, but to be at their position going into the Ram game this weekend, where they have a chance to, win just as easily as the Rams have a chance to win, and to put themselves in a better run for the playoffs, I just can't see how you can pass on that opportunity. It's such a precarious situation from year to year that when the moment is there, you've got to seize the opportunity to take advantage of it. And, it's more than just rolling the dice.
It seems to me that it's pretty impossible to predict which teams are going to be in the Super Bowl this season. I mean, Kansas City and Tampa, who knows? I mean, whatever team you predict probably is going to lose this season, this weekend. So we'll see if the Niners are in there. They're